Well, the Colonel's back in town. Can you hear that joyful sound? Dust on the boots, wheels on the ground, from the mountains to the sea, where the truth still longs to be found. Colonel Chris has come on. Yeah, the Colonel's back in town.
Back to the land of 1,000 skies, golden sunsets and hopeful eyes. Black, white, and brown, every story's told, every heartbeat's worth more than gold.
No spin, no games, no smoke or disguise, just steady hands and open eyes,
calling it straight wherever it's found. The Colonel's back in town. Every road has a story to tell. Every heart knows when freedom rings well. When honest voices rise together, hope can outlast any weather.
The Colonel's back in town. Raise your voices, gather round, from Cape Town all the way to Bay Bridge, across the valleys, over every ridge, from Springbok down to Durban shore, standing for tomorrow more. Truth should never fear examination. Hope to build a stronger nation. The Colonel's back in town.
Rolling through the countryside, listening close with nothing to hide, celebrating dreams that bloom, shining a light inside the room.
When something's working, let it grow. When something's broken, let us know. Every voice deserves its day. Together we'll find a better way.
No nonsense and no hesitation, just thoughtful facts and observation. Looking ahead, connecting the lines, searching for tomorrow's signs.
From city streets to country farms, meeting folks with open arms. Every challenge, every win, the journey always starts within.
Truth is stronger in the light. Honest hearts can make things right. Side by side we'll always stand, building hope across the land.
The Colonel's back in town. Raise your voices, gather round, from Cape Town all the way to Bay Bridge, across the valleys, over every ridge, from Springbok down to Durban shore, standing for tomorrow more. Truth should never fear examination. Hope can build a stronger nation. The Colonel's back in town.
Sunlight shines where shadows hide.
Let honesty become our guide.
Lift the good and face what's wrong.
That's how every heart grows strong.
The Wyatt Army knows the way.
Standing together every day.
Honest folks still answer the call.
Standing together, standing tall.
Seeking justice, liberty for all. United we'll never fall.
The Colonel's back in town. Lift those voices, sing it loud. Across South Africa we're rolling. Every mile another story unfolding. Every neighbor, every friend. Truth and hope will never end. We know who we are, we know where we stand. Walking together across this land. Truth should never fear examination. Faith and courage build a nation. The Colonel's back in town. Yeah, Chris is back around. The Colonel's back in town.
Yes, I'm back in town, folks. Welcome back to the program from Cape Town, from Kapstadt. Yes, that's right. He had to cough that whole time. held it throughout the song so I wouldn't ruin it for you. Good evening and welcome back to the program from Cape Town. A lovely evening indeed. Okay, why is that pause? There we go. Okay, pause. There we go. All right, so how's it going? How you all doing here? The internet here supposedly is good. It works and then it stops working. It works and it stops working. So I'm on my mobile phone again. Thank you, Toast, for the $10 US. Ooh, dollars now. Port Shepstone or Margate. I don't think that's likely, Wolf the Blind Biker. I will be going to KZN, but it will be Durban and possibly Howick and maybe Peter Maritzburg briefly on the way back. So Joy Thron, welcome to you. Happy Chappy, all to his glory. Hey, my little Bucky is hanging out. Michael Pierre, welcome to you. Car, excuse me. The critical reviewer, Loretta, what's up? Rena Watt, Diana Thompson, hello, hello. Carl Erasmus is here. Jolene Kofinas, excuse me. To Maitland. I don't even know where Maitland's at. Sorry. Amelia Lowe, Bossy Cop. Pizza Party's back. Mandy van Rooyen. Michelle Erasmus. Carl Erasmus. Flink Dink. Judy DeLong. Lucy Zila. Hey, what's up, Lucy? Good to see you again there. Eugene said, yeah, the Facebook video. Well, it was also on this channel too. I guess you didn't see it here. I prefer you watch the videos here. Johan Barnard, welcome to you. My favorite menu item for McDonald's? Nothing. There's nothing in McDonald's I actually like. Just I had to get McDonald's tonight because I didn't finish until about 8:15 when I was doing 8 o'clock, and I had to grab something next to Woodstock. Okay. Yeah, I had to grab something so I could get back into a show. If I sat down in a restaurant, I wouldn't be back here until after 10:30. So I'm once again, I'm sacrificing for y'all doing McDonald's. It's crap. So I got some McNuggets and a couple burgers, and I ate the burgers. McNuggets getting cold now. Debbie Fox earned 50 Rand. Thank you. Celebrating the birth of beautiful granddaughter. Congratulations, Debbie. That's fantastic. That's an awesome thing to celebrate. Nullsprit. Yeah, I am on my way to Nullsprit. Yep, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. Nicola Bolito. I'm not sure about Bolito. We'll have to see how it goes. I might have time to do a lunchtime thing in Bolito. Might do a lunchtime thing on like the 28th or something like that. Well, I'm always generous with my time. Too generous, I think, is the thing. I don't think about myself, unfortunately. What have I missed here? Yeah, I'm in a good mood. Got into Cape Town today. Got a spam text trying to hoodwink me in to give my credit card details away to pay for a traffic fine. It was non-existent. Yeah. So Charles Van Olsen, the voice of reason, is here. Paula tonight. Oh, you want to hear Paula? We can do that. Just remind me later on, okay? Okay, and cool. All right, is that Keith Orkias here? Good to see you, Keith. So I heard something made my blood boil today. Voice of the Cape is more like voice of BS. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on. Hang around. Toast, thank you for the $10. All right, who was your day? How was your day? How was my day, Michelle? It was busy. I started the morning off in Wellington. I recorded several videos in Wellington. After recording videos in Wellington, I hit the road. I went to Pearl, to Sportsman's Warehouse, because the people at Bolin told me that that's where you can buy the kit. I walked, and they didn't have any XX large jersey. They said they can get it in 3 days, but I'm not driving back to Pearl to get a jersey. I'm going to see if I can't get the Sportsman's Warehouse here to order it and give me a XX large, and I'll get a proper Bolin jersey, the gold one, which is the one I want. I got the black one, but I don't like the black one. So, yeah, so while I was there, I was getting in a car. Somebody recognized me, a gentleman named Andre. And so we said hello, talked for a few minutes. And then I hit the road, drove back to Cape Town. And boy, I'll tell you what, you forget about the big city, how stupid people are. I was driving on the N1 into Cape Town where the speed limit is still 80 kilometers per hour. And traffic was backed up, turning off onto the ramp, but I was in the left-hand lane, so not overtaking anyone, driving, minding my own business, going 80, when this idiot woman just whips out in front of me, stopped in traffic. She doesn't want to sit there and wait at the robot. She decides to go down front. I was going 80. She just pulled out right in front of me. I had to slam on my brakes. I hit my horn. I hit my horn. She was completely oblivious. She didn't even accelerate. She pulls out there going 15, 20, 30 kilometers per hour. I nearly totaled the car because I couldn't go left. There were traffic coming. And thankfully I had control, and I was aware of this moron pulling in front of me. So then when it was safe, I overtook her on the right because she's still going about 40 kilometers afterward, hundreds of meters down the road. And I looked over and she's flipping me off. I'm like, flipping me off, you moron. You're the one that didn't signal, that pulled out of the exit ramp and I'll come back on the highway going 30 kilometers an hour maximum, endangering public safety. Man, I just want to get out and beat her to a freaking pulp. What a stupid person. And then I'm in town, driving in and the same sort of thing. No signals, just cut in front of people, all over the place. Yeah, big cities, stupid people. Anyway, So I got to my hotel place I've stayed at before, although, you know, this is a larger room, but actually getting quite a hollow sound here because the bathroom. I got a bigger room. They're all the same price, but I got a bigger room. I should have, that sounds a lot better. I should have taken the room I had before, which is adjacent here. It's much nicer. This one's kind of a weird look. Anyway, so, oh well. So it's in a nice place, and see right below Table Mountain, see right above me there. And anyway, so then I left here and I went to the High Court. And at the High Court, I sat in on the trial, expropriation without compensation. As I walked up to the building, there was Kali Creel and Ernst von Sale outside, and they saw me. And then Gabriel Kraus came into and said hello to me. And we went inside, and I saw David Ansara. I saw Mark Oppenheimer. Some of the advocates came back to greet me. They knew who I was. They watched my program. It was really interesting, fantastic. I went out and filmed a couple segments. Somebody said I should stay away from the refugees. Okay, tell me more, Diana Thompson. Over what? That person is going to go to jail. She keeps it up, she's going to go to jail. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you that right now. She's going to wind up in jail. I got some stuff for the flu it's not the flu, it's a cold bug. I got it in Beaufort West, but it isn't helping. So I got something else here tonight at the Clicks here in town. So anyway, I was at the High Court, and I went out and did a short, and I recorded a video, which I edit later on. From there, I went to the Truth Report headquarters, and I checked in with Truth Report to schedule some interviews to do for the Truth Report on Friday, and including Rob Hersoff interviewing me, but I'll be interviewing people on Friday if it pans out for Truth Report. If not, it'll be in September. I'll do it. So from the Truth Report, I went down to the Victoria and Alfred waterfront, where I bought a nice jersey, and then I linked up with Paulie. We hadn't seen each other since last year, and he doesn't chat much on the program anymore. So Paulie and I touched base. He's looking good. And then I came back here and set up for the stream. And yeah, there you have it. I did pick up a magazine, though, from Exclusive. This is the one I wanted to get, the SA Rugby magazine. So Blood and Thunder, the Greatest Rivalry special edition, 140-page special edition of SA Rugby magazine. Anyway, excuse me, the cough is not there originally, but now it's there. If you're near this, we need to meet. Maitland is near Central Business. It's dangerous areas, so prefer to meet elsewhere. Well, we mean Central Business of Cape Town. I'm in Oranjezist or whatever it's called. Yes, I was at the High Court today. That's correct. Purple Moon Dreamer, welcome to you. It's plenty warm here. It was 22 degrees today. It was hot. Well, the taxis weren't the problem. It was idiot drivers. The taxis were not. I mean, but I'm aware that Sean Hawthorne. That's what I was looking out for. It was people. Yes, I saw Paulie had no. Yes, I did see Paulie. Cold bugs around because of the weather. Take care of friends. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dylan. Bonnie, hello to you towards the jersey. Oh, thank you for the 100 Rand. Yeah, it'll take a lot more than that. The jersey wasn't cheap. Oh my goodness. I've never bought anything All Blacks in my entire life, but I bought this awesome thing. You guys want to see it? I mean, it's an All Blacks. I've never worn anything All Blacks. I hate the All Blacks, but this thing, the colors are so cool. I think I'll wear it and put tape over the All Black symbol. Is that ink on the back of the magazine? It is on the back of the magazine. It is, Ink Grow. It's Dricus Duplicity on the back. Yeah, it's tools. That's what it is on the back of the magazine. It's an advert. I warned her she wants you away from us. Why? What has she done? I've helped tens of thousands of people. What an arrogant asshat that person is. What an arrogant asshat. Anyway, let's see the Silver Fern merch. Okay, Silver Fern merch. Okay, hang on. It's way too expensive and something I can never really do, but you know what? It's the rugby's greatest rivalry, so here we go. Check it out. Look at these colors, man. These colors are incredible. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That maroon and black. I mean, that's just awesome. That's just awesome. The only bad part about it has this on it. It has this All Blacks thing. The All Blacks probably will beat the Stormers. I haven't been playing well, but I did get something for myself that's not quite so treasonous. So they don't have much in the way of rugby's greatest rivalry. It's a huge disappointment, but they did have this. So I got this hoodie. So So it says 2026 Tour Edition, the greatest rivalry since 1921. So that's it. That's the only thing I find with rugby's greatest rivalry. They better come up with some other merchandise. That's pretty lame. That was a bit cheaper than the All Blacks thing. No, they're not old school. Neither one of them. I don't think they're old school now. No, the one's Nike. No, I never betrayed the Springboks. But the color pairing was brilliant. I couldn't resist. If it had been black and white, I never would have bought it. But the black with that dark maroon is really, really sharp. So I got it. So anyway, then I went to Cape Union Mart, and they had reduced. They're trying to get rid of these winter clothes. So now's a good time. It's like in Germany with the Winterschutzverkauf. They sell things at the end of the seasons because they can't go. I got a K-Way shirt, this one here, which this color combination looked pretty good too. This was marked down like 40%. So I got that. Anyway, that looks more like spring colors there, old school spring colors. But that's a K-Way. So yeah, anyway. Yeah, Cape Town's drivers, man. She and her 100 followers. Yeah, isn't that funny, Phoenix? You know, that person, anyway, whatever. I'm not getting involved in that. So, yeah, striped jerseys make you look thinner. That's what I hear. Anyway. All right. So, yeah, it is stunning. Yeah, both those are. Ask the kitchen to boil some oranges, garlic, and lemons. Ew, that sounds gross. Sunny shirt's good choice. No, not enough red. Okay, thank you for that, Diana Thompson. I agree. All right, folks. So Werner Bronkhorst says flying out tomorrow, Jersey. She wishes you're going to New Jersey. Well, you'll probably be one of the people that out migrates pretty quickly. So no, Eugene, not worth it. I agree. I haven't said anything about that in days. That person will be soon served papers for a court hearing, not by me. So I'm out of it. I have nothing to do with it. So I just love to see people get what they deserve. Yeah, Jack is 50% off, but it's not cold here. So and our pig. No idea what you're talking about there, Chilling. Okay, so that's funny here. So let's see. We have almost 600 people come to my meet and greets thus far. Well, it's New Jersey, Werner. It's nothing special. There's parts of New Jersey nice, but that's southern New Jersey. So don't sweat it. Get there, get set up. You'll be set. You'll be okay, and then you can move around somewhere once you get sorted. Who knows? Maybe you'll like Jersey City. I don't. I don't like New Jersey at all. Okay. Yeah, things are happening in South Africa, and I was at the court today, so we're going to talk more about that. But yeah, so gosh, it's warm in here. I have to put the aircon on. Yeah, I wasn't freezing last night. Oh, I'll tell you what. So a student just gave 350 Rand super chat. Thank you for that super sticker. So the last 2 nights have been incredible. Incredible beds. I mean, I slept in bed so comfortable, I didn't want to get up 2 days in a row. 2 days in a row. Judy says, I'm honored that you're having a meeting in Durbanville tomorrow, but most of us work. I can't slip away, but I have no car. If anyone can offer a lift, I'd be grateful. Well, Judy, the problem is that I don't have time this week. And people keep asking me to do a meet and greet in Durbanville. So I'm bending. Look, I don't really have time for it, but I'm making time and I'm going to do it. Instead of having time to myself after going to the court tomorrow and enjoying a lunch and relaxing in Central Business District, I'm going to go to Durbanville, which is a 40-minute drive, assuming there's no traffic, no problems, go there and then do the meet and greet. And then I have to come back in the afternoon. So, yep. So I'm new. Sorry to ask, but do you stay in South Africa? No, that's no reason. You don't have to apologize for asking a question like that. No, I don't stay in South Africa. I live in America. I come here frequently and report. So, yep. Yeah, well, the last 2 mornings I didn't wake up early, but most of the trips since I've been here the previous 10 days, I was awake at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. And just getting up at 6 or 7, which I don't like doing, but I got up. The last 2 nights, I have slept like a baby in the womb. It's been incredible. Last night in Wellington at the Val du Charon, I can highly recommend it. Very pleasant sleep. And the night before, I was in Worcester. And it was, am I going to Durban? Yes, I'm going to Durban, Virtual Western Cape. I'm spending hundreds of dollars to go to Durban. Yep. I know. Hence why I feel sad that I don't have the car in the week. I really need to meet you. Well, there'll be more. There's this thing called Uber and Bolt. Exactly, John Kramer. Yep. Debbie says South Africa's your second home. A lot of people say that. Thank you, student, for the other 140 rand. Thank you. The black and maroon all black just reminds me of the Eastern Province. Yeah, it does. Indiana Chronicles. What is that? A lot more people coming to greets than last time. I don't know, Debbie. Last time 2,000 people came roughly. And a lot of those people are in the States now that were it's the refugee. So anyway, so I already have almost 600 people. So 585 roughly have come to my meet and greets thus far. What did I forget in Durban? I didn't forget anything in Durban. What are you talking about? Yep. All right. So there you go. All right. Let's go ahead and get to the news, ladies and gentlemen. I've got news tonight. So that's a little bit about my trip. I'm in Cape Town today and tomorrow. I'm covering the expropriation case at the High Court, the Western Cape High Court, sitting in court today in the gallery next to attorneys and the media. And as media, I went out and reported on it before any of them did, before News 24 had a story on it, before anyone had a story on the, thank you, Judy DeLong, 140 Rand. Before anyone in the media in South Africa had released a story today, I did. Now, there were people in the courtroom who were releasing X messages, like Kali Creel and others were putting X messages out, but I was the first journalist to go out there and actually report on the story today. And I talked about advocates for two different organizations that were the Fatherland Foundation and AfriForum, who I listened to. I did see the EFF advocate. He was there. He was having a hard time staying awake. Anyway, so tomorrow I'll go there as well and hear some more. Hopefully Mark Oppenheimer will be speaking. It depends how far they got through today. Then it's off to Durbanville for the meet and greet. Then I have to come back to Cape Town, and I'm going to try to see if I can go visit Erica. Don't know what's allowed to visit where she's at. Yeah, if you want to know about meet and greets, you have to watch the shorts. Go to my channel, look under shorts, and watch for updates. I update for every meet and greet. I do a short. So I've already done one for tomorrow for Durbanville. And then I will do more as we go. I'm still planning on having one in Woodbridge Island, although that may not be now, or it might be a lunchtime one. See, here's the problem, folks. If I do it in the evening, people complain, well, it's dangerous. We can't drive in the dark. So instead of doing the evening, I try to do them at like 4 o'clock. And then I get people saying, well, that's too late. Why can't you do lunchtime? So I do it at lunchtime. Why are you doing lunchtime? We have jobs. You know, I mean, you can't win for trying. You really can't win for trying. You really can't win for trying. All right, so on to the news. Please stick around. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done already. 190 people here and only 81 likes. That's kind of lame. Hey, Chris Ayers, what's up? All right, let me go back to the chat. There's a message I missed there. Yeah, no interest. Like, hey, Lulu, what's up? Yeah, I think 4 p.m. is the best time for most people because if they don't live too far away, they can come and get back before it's dark. I can't tell you if you should sign up for a refugee program. That's the wrong question to ask. Where is Yassine? There's no refugee questions now. We're not talking about refugees. This is a news broadcast, a little bit different. I'm talking about my travels, so you need to hold your refugee questionnaires. But I can't tell you whether you should become a refugee. That's something you have to decide for yourself. A lift for me to meet. Okay, that's awesome. There you go, Judy. See. Exactly, Mike. Yeah, listen, the colonel said 1,000 times he's going to Durban. Yeah, how many times must he say I'm spending extra time? Exactly. Yeah, I'm spending a lot of extra money for a flight and also for a rental car and then a hotel. So, I mean, we're talking probably my Durban trip's going to cost me probably about $600. Okay. All right, let's get to the news. Thank you for sticking with us now. We're about 25 minutes into it. Expropriation without compensation is under fire and big changes for speeding fines. Yeah, okay. Let's see. So expropriation without compensation was happening today. Under siege, a legal challenge to the Expropriation Act is heading to the Western Cape High Court. That's today. Yep. So the Daily Investor said it's happening next week, but it actually happened today. The Democratic Alliance will not support a law that legalizes land grabs as the Expropriation Act court battle begins. Finally, we hear from the Democratic Alliance over EWC. Western Cape High Court is hearing 3 challenges to the contentious Expropriation Act and unconstitutional, illegal Expropriation Act. That's not contentious. It's a criminal piece of legislation. The chairperson of DA's federal counsel, Ashur Shurapen, says the party has challenged the bill on 2 grounds: irrationality and invalid mandates. Never mind the fact it's unconstitutional. The court has been hearing challenges by the DA, AfriForum, and the Fatherland Stichting, which is the Fatherland Foundation. The DA won't accept a bill that legalizes land grabs, but it's not just about land, it's about property. It's also, South African attorneys, South African civil rights organizations are unwilling to tell the truth. They're unwilling, not that they're lying to you, but they're unwilling to say the real reason for this legislation. It's not about land or land reform. It's about political pressure to threaten people. That's what this is all about. Yep. Signed into law in 2025, Expropriation Act sets out how organs of state could expropriate land in the public interest. Actually, that's a lie, News 24. The Section 25 of the Constitution allows that. It sets out the conditions for it. This is a illegal, unconstitutional, immoral property grab to take land, to take property, to threaten South African citizens who deign to speak against the government of the day, whether it's the ANC, the DA, or whoever it is. This is an unacceptable piece of legislation that is clearly unconstitutional. The comical situation of Dean McPherson, the guy who flies his boyfriend in Brazil, Dean McPherson saying that nil compensation is something. I mean, that guy is just a complete asshat. What kind of idiot actually says that in the English language? Look up the word nil. Let's look up the definition of nil, just for gills and grins. Nil. What does nil mean? What does nil mean? Okay, let's see what it says. It means nothing, zero, or the absence of value. Wow. So nil compensation would be nothing, would be no compensation. You're actually having a court case to discuss this. Unbelievable. Of course, it's all a lie, virtual election. I know about this. I've talked about this endlessly, about all the farmland, the millions of hectares that the ANC has acquired and hasn't distributed, the lack of extension services they provide, the lack of credit, lack of training. Means nothing. Exactly. So, Minister of Public Works, Dean McPherson, is cited as the first respondent to the party's court papers because he is implementing authority for legislation by virtue of his cabinet portfolio. Well, I would like to see Dean McPherson defend this. Will he have his traveling companion with him there in the courtroom, defending it, trying to claim that nil means something? Did you hear him say that? I heard him say that. I mean, you have to be some kind of special idiot to claim that nil means something. It means compensation. It doesn't. You see, the DA is complicit with the ANC. This is the most unbelievable legislation. And why is Dean McPherson never sanctioned by his own party for saying such stupid stuff? Nothing. No consequences. Just like John Steenhuisen bleeding the DA right into a hole for years and people just rolling over and taking it from John Steenhuisen. Two idiots, two peas in a pod, neither one of whom should be in the DA. Surpad told reporters and party supporters outside the court the DA's case was specific. The party challenged its constitutionality of the process by which legislation was passed, as well as the rationality of sections 19(2) and 3 of the Act. Yeah, well, it states that either party may, within 180 days of the date of the notice of expropriation, is to proceedings in a competent court. Yeah, but that's just stupid. Stupid. What this basically means is that the notice must reflect compensation determined by court. The Act also says you can't go to court until the notice has been issued. It's ass backwards. The law is illegal. Here's a picture of Kali Creel outside the court. Let's see what he had to say. Speaking to journalists outside the court, AfriForum CEO Kali Creel said, "We believe that the act will be to the detriment of everybody in the country." Yeah, well, he's right. Absolutely right. We know in some courts you have to wait 3 years to get a court date to dispute a case. Now you would have government or the state using taxpayers' money. The person that lost their land has lost their income and they have to fight with their own money. It's just unjust. It's also immoral. It also is in violation of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, of which South Africa under the ANC is a signatory. And it is also a violation of natural rights, God-given rights, the right to possess private property. It's utter poppycock. Well, it's getting spicy for former idiot, well, current idiot, but former idiot member of parliament, Mapisa Nakula. Next general says he drove his wife to deliver 200,000 rand after a robbery. Retired Sandef Deputy Surgeon General Noel Ndlovu testified that he drove his wife to Nosisivwe Mapisa Nakula's Bruma home after an armed robbery where she allegedly delivered 200,000 rand in cash. Ndlovu said that he only learned about the purpose of the visit a month later when his wife told him the money was for the former defense minister, prompting him to tell her to stop making the payments. His evidence was partly corroborated by his brother-in-law, Sabelo Mtswanda, who described a robbery in which gunmen stole 12,000 rand but failed to find 200,000 hidden beneath the car seat. So not only does the ANC stuff money in couches in Pala Pala, but they also stuff it in car seats. I'll tell you, the next time I get a car from Avis, I'm ripping the seats out. I mean, how much money did they leave behind? Seriously. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. This level of corruption is off the charts. Wow. She pled not guilty to 12 counts of corruption, 1 count of money laundering stemming from the allegations that she solicited and received $4.5 million in kickbacks. Wow. Ndlovu, who retired from the SANDF in August 2025 after 26 years of service, also testified about his suspension in October 2020. He said he was informed it was linked to litigation involving his wife. So I wonder if he got divorced from her. Wow. They just sit on this money, man. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is explosive. You know, I was talking to Paulie earlier, and we were discussing General Mkhwanazi. You know, General Mkhwanazi might have saved South Africa by coming forward and exposing all this fraud and saps. He may have just saved South Africa. So close to the edge, going off the edge, he might have just saved this country. I mean, think about that. The guy's a hero. He's a hero. He put himself at risk, and he may have saved this country, exposing what's going on here. It's unbelievable, unbelievable. And, you know, that's you know, you want to put somebody in currency. Maybe we start talking about, you know, Mkhwanazi, not the one that's in Ekurhuleni. I'm talking about the one in KZN, Lieutenant General. Wow. Sabella gave the court a detailed account of the robbery that preceded the alleged cash delivery. He testified that his sister had asked him to accompany her to Four Ways after she had made an appointment to withdraw money from her bank. After collecting the cash, she asked him to place the packet under the passenger seat he was sitting in. The pair later stopped an ATM at a BP garage on William Nickel Drive, now Winnie Mandela Drive, before driving to Spruitview to buy food. Moments after parking, a white BMW X3 blocked their vehicle, reversing. 2 armed men got out, each approaching one side of the vehicle. He told the court that one of the attackers struggled with his sister before taking her handbag, cell phone, and car keys, injuring her wrist during the confrontation. Sabella, who was wearing a moon boot and using crutches because of an existing leg injury, said one of the gunmen threatened to shoot his other leg if he did not get out of the vehicle quickly enough. Wow. Although the attacker stole a handbag containing 12,000 rand withdrawn from the ATM, they failed to discover the larger packet concealed beneath the passenger seat, 200,000 rand. Wow. That's crazy. It's crazy. Well, folks, bad news for South Africans who live on the East Coast. The United States is closing its visa consular services in Durban. Also bad news for Americans who live or traveling to the East Coast. You're not going to have consular services. At least it appears that way. The United States is closing its visa services in Durban. South Africans who require a visa to visit the United States will now have to go to Cape Town or Joburg to apply. That's just not right. The U.S. Department of State announced it's realigning visa operations in Africa, transitioning regional hubs as part of a long-standing initiative to enhance national security. I don't know how that enhances national security. That just makes it inconvenient for people who need to use consular services. Implementation of visa services designated hubs has already yielded positive outcomes in various African countries. That's bullshit. Embassy announced that recent changes in routine visa processing do not affect the operational status of embassies or consulates. Oh, it does. It means a hell of a lot more people standing in line in Joburg and in Cape Town and in Pretoria. Wow. Wow. Gaborone. So where's the Southern Africa? Do people in Botswana and Zimbabwe now have to go to freaking Joburg? That's crazy. This doesn't make any sense. If I'm understanding this correctly, they're talking about there's a Southern African hub. I guess that's Joburg. So Malawi, Zambia, Mozambique, Lesotho, Swaziland, Botswana, and Zimbabwe would all have to go to South Africa to get visas. That's just ridiculous. And this is a failure on the part of the United States. I'm disappointed. So Business Tech runs a story, which I wouldn't expect to come out of a real publication like Business Tech, but they're acting like a bunch of leftist loonies, attacking H-2A visa program. United States tapped skilled South Africans for the deadliest job in America, paying 62,700 rand a month. 62,000. America's most dangerous job is attracting thousands of skilled South Africans, agricultural workers earning an average of 63,000 rand a month, while filling critical labor shortages in U.S. farms. In July 2026, a report by Stephen Sweat, personal injury lawyers in the United States, found that agricultural workers face the highest workplace fatality risk of any occupation in the United States. The study analyzed 5 years of fatal workplace injury data, comparing the number of deaths, fatalities, yada, yada, yada. According to the study, this equates to more than one in every 50 workers dying on the job. The average annual wage for agricultural workers is $45,600, which is $752,000 a year. Hiring of South Africans has sparked an uproar in parts of the United States. South Africans have also established a strong reputation for mechanized agriculture. Mexican workers account for the overwhelming majority of manual crop picking jobs. However, South Africans make up a disproportionately large share of heavy machining operators, combine harvest drivers, and custom harvesters working across America's Great Plains and Midwest. There's significant demand for South African workers because of their English proficiency, heavy vehicle license, and operating large-scale agriculture equipment. Anyway, so now they mix in the story about Mississippi lawsuit, which has nothing to do with that story. Well, Springbok scrum half Morné van den Berg is in line to return from a bicep injury that he got back in May. He appeared to meet engagement ahead of the test against Argentina this weekend. He uses time out to upskill and improve fitness while watching Emrys Papier and Herschel Jantjies get opportunities. He started his career as a fullback, says he's ready to serve the Springboks in whatever capacity required. Good. I hope he plays. So pretty cool. So Morné van den Berg will be back. So at the bowling game, folks, yesterday, some sad situation occurred. We were sitting there, and suddenly a whole bunch of people reacted to something on the far end of the stands, the grandstand, the left-hand side, which would be the north side of the grandstand. And emergency medical technicians responded. Somebody had a heart attack, apparently. And as they wheeled him out, they were trying to resuscitate him, and they took him out the tunnel right in front of me, right in front of myself and Alwyn, who was there with me. It was kind of sad to see. Now it just comes out that that person actually died at the bowling game yesterday, 72-year-old. Tragedy strikes bowling Cavaliers as coach's father-in-law dies after the Curry Cup match. He died during the Curry Cup match, actually. With father-in-law, former bowling rugby player Ashwin Bok suffered a heart attack in the stands during the second half of Sunday's Curry Cup clash between the Cavaliers and the Pumas. He passed away shortly afterwards. John Minar, age 72, was in the grandstands with his family supporting the home side and his son-in-law, the current Bowling attack coach at Bowling Stadium when the incident occurred. His family members, along with other supporters in close proximity, immediately called out for emergency services to tend to Minar. They reached him within a few minutes and attempted resuscitative efforts, including CPR, which I watched. He was rushed down the pavilion stairs in a gurney towards the ambulance on the standby at the stadium while the doctor on the site continued to pump at his chest. In the ambulance, he continued to receive CPR, with the total time resuscitative efforts continued at the stadium being 35 minutes. They tried for 35 minutes to save this man's life. He was transported to Pearl Mediclinic, received advanced life support and assisted CPR, but was non-responsive and declared deceased by medical staff upon arrival at the hospital. Dr. Arthur Williams confirmed to News 24 that Minar suffered a heart attack with sudden cardiac arrest. It's Coach Ashwin's father-in-law, bowling head coach, always Faree explained after the match. It's always tough when your team members and coaching staff's family's in trouble. When I came down the stairs after the game, I saw the medical personnel trying to help him in the ambulance, trying to do CPR. It was tough on the team, especially the guys that were there next to the field at that moment. Yeah, it was something else. Sad to see. Rest in peace, sir. That was tough to see. Yep. 72 years old. Too young. Well, passionate fans and bowling Sundays fire the Cavaliers despite rare home defeat by Pumas. Yeah, that's the first time in 2 seasons they've lost at home and losing to the Pumas 2015, but so many mistakes. Yeah, bowling Sundays. Pretty exciting stuff. Well, a South African parastatal has some happy news. First time in 6 years. South African Post Office has received its first unqualified audit opinion from the Auditor General in 6 years as financial statements for the year ending March 2026. It doesn't say that they turned a profit. The acting chief executive officer is Fatima Ghani. Yep. So good news there. Well, hundreds of foreign pupils are gone from Gauteng schools after the anti-immigrant domestic terrorist attacks. 192 foreign pupils from 15 schools in Joburg, 250 from just 5 schools in Tshwane have returned to their home countries, citing safety concerns. March has demanded compliance audits of teachers in Gauteng public schools, arguing that teachers' posts must be filled by South African citizens where possible. Well, folks, yeah, there is still a post office. I actually saw one in Wellington. It was operational. Folks, my favorite, Springbok, is on the mend, despite Ian Henderson's horrible attempt to injure him and end his career. World Cup hero is raring to tackle the All Blacks again after a torrid injury run. Ladies and gentlemen, Deon Faree is ready to come back. Set to make a timely return from injury to tackle the All Blacks once again. 39-year-old recovered from his latest of his torrid run of injuries and says he's raring to go for the showdown against Dave Randy's Chargers. Furey's career has been a story of resilience and defiance, becoming the oldest player to debut for the Springboks, doing so against Wales at the age of 35 in 2022. He was overlooked earlier in his career after being told that he was too small to be a buck loose forward, and eventually packed his bags for France, where he had stints with Lyon and Grenoble. He returned to South Africa in 2021 after helping the Stormers win the inaugural URC Championship, earned his call up to the Bucks. He went on to claim a place in the 2023 World Cup squad, where he enjoyed a greater role than perhaps he would ever have predicted, as he played 77 minutes in the final following an injury to Bongi Mbonambi. He produced a heroic defensive stint from the hooker position with an injured shoulder to help defend the title. However, the last 28 months been there. Lost the connection for a moment, so we're back. He had that. He came back, ankle issue. Then he suffered a bicep in his first game back. He was only in for like 4 minutes. Despite his assumptions he would be the final straw, he relented, recovered, and played 6 times for Stormers Sports' neck setback and ligament damage during a clash against Ulster after a crock roll by Ian Henderson, someone who should have been banned from rugby for a year. Again, there are doubts, but the World Cup winner was worked tirelessly to return to match fitness and is in line to tackle the All Blacks yet again, this time wearing the colors of his beloved Stormers. It's 10 or 11 weeks after the operation. Fitness-wise, I'll probably only be able to tell you on Friday. I'm definitely raring to go, and it's a great opportunity. I was looking forward to this match since it was announced a year or two ago. Yep, so Deon Fourie will be on the pitch this Friday night. Oh, man, I'm excited. I hope Rotzi calls him up for later in the season. So that's some good news there. So now I want to talk about something that I listened to. You know, you guys are kind of upset about that video I did about the people in Pennsylvania with their trivial concerns. Well, I listened to VOC FM coming in from Pearl. So about 40 minutes of listening to drivel from some lunatic on the radio, an America-hating scumbag who every single thing they talked about blamed America for everything. The guy just making stuff up. And of course, then let me just check on this. I want to check on this before I make this statement. So before I make the statement, I'll make sure that I'm double checking my source again, because I remember this to be true. So they played a conversation with convicted pedo Scott Ritter, Lieutenant Ritter. I think he was lieutenant, the man who was a junior Marine and then betrayed America working for the UN inspection team, lying about what was happening in Iraq and making false claims that were proven to be false after the fact. And he's given some kind of hero status by the left. This convicted pedo. Scott Ritter convicted in 2011 on criminal charges involving an online sting operation with undercover officer posing as minor. Yep. He was found guilty of unlawful contact with a minor and related counts. 6 of 7 counts following a 2009 online chat. He thought he was talking to a 15-year-old girl. Yep. Yeah. Anyway, so this creepy bastard is who they play as a source. They play it as a source, saying that Trump has lost the war in Iran, that America has no ammunition left, that there will be a reckoning, and Pete Hegseth is going to be fired. And this moron on the air said Donald Trump is dumber than a brick. I don't know who you are on Voice of the Cape, but you are some hateful, nasty people that are completely ignorant of geopolitical affairs. You should stick to promoting your pro-Islam in the Cape and shut your cake hole about geopolitical affairs, which you know nothing about. Nothing about. You should have heard them trying to get the High Commissioner from Pakistan on. Unbelievable. What a cock-up. Who runs this operation? It was a Mickey Mouse operation. They couldn't get the guy on. Then he's talking to his underling. Well, you should have him do this and do that and have him come right back. It's pathetic. Okay, you were warned. Now we're going to take you out here. So you just got a timeout. You can't follow the rules. Just got a timeout. Next time, you'll simply be deleted, whoever that dirt. It's another one of those. I think that's, no, pizza party, don't dress. I think this is one of the heartburn crowd. Yeah, they can't follow the rules. Simple rules. Yeah, I can't believe that idiots like that actually get airtime on a radio station. It was unbelievable. It was beyond the pale stupid. Anyway, so their source that America is losing the war is Scott Ritter. Scott Ritter. Unbelievable. Uganda's military unveils a statue to Bibi Netanyahu's brother, who died in the 1976 Entebbe raid. Yep. Yoni Netanyahu. was a major. He was killed in the raid on Uganda. Uganda's military unveiled a month. Oh, what the hell happened there? The page just disappeared. Oh, my goodness. Well, hopefully it'll come back. Myanmar's detained former leader Aung San Suu Kyi has a rare meeting with the International Red Cross. They let the Red Cross meet with her. She's unlawfully detained by a criminal regime that is running the country. Yep. Anyway, back to Uganda. Statue of Jonathan Netanyahu holding an assault rifle was unveiled Saturday by Uganda military chief, who said he commissioned the mine to pay tribute to a soldier's courage. Although among those attending were Israelis, including Barak Orland, a businessman in Uganda. Yep. So Uganda honors Benjamin Netanyahu's brother. That's amazing. Right on Entebbe. So Aung San Suu Kyi actually got to see the International Red Cross. The 80-plus-year-old is unlawfully detained by a criminal regime. President Trump gives Iran a last chance to make a deal. One last chance to make a deal. Should be Bob Barker. Let's make a deal. President Trump on Monday said renewed talks in Iran are of Islamic Republic's last chance to sign a deal, giving up its quest for a nuclear weapon. He made the ultimatum from the Oval Office while discussing the role of Middle East allies who asked the president to hold off on new airstrikes and give diplomacy one more shot. Well, we've given it too many shots. It's time to obliterate these clowns. Trump calls Iran unbelievably duplicitous, confirms ongoing blockade of ports. Yep. Criticized Iran's leadership, said the U.S. naval blockade of the country would remain in effect, coming after he announced that he held off on strikes against the country due to there being another framework. Whether Iran wants to admit it or not, we are, in fact, talking of a solution to a problem that they have caused for decades. True. True, true, true. Iran says no talks with the U.S. over the Hormuz Strait. Well, somebody will talk to us eventually. Yep. So the United States has intervened to prop up the Japanese yen. Scott Bessent confirmed the United States participated in coordinated foreign exchange actions that counter disorderly yen movements. That means they propped up the yen. Wow. Investors suspect intervention on July 30th when the yen registered a 3% gain against the dollar, helping it recover and slumping to its lowest level since 1986. Wow. The stock market has rallied today, and oil has slid on talks of diplomacy in the Middle East market. The NASDAQ was up over 6% earlier. The S&P 500 nearly 4%, and the Dow gained 3% as oil stocks sunk. Todd Blanche's nomination is back on track after he betrayed the people abused by the U.S. government by dropping the $1.8 billion settlement. Michigan has reported 2 deaths in connection with the cyclosporasis outbreak. Significant underlying health conditions may have been exacerbated by foodborne illness, according to health authorities. 2 people have died in connection with the cyclosporasis outbreak that has spread across the U.S. this summer from tainted vegetables. We have 6,700 laboratory-confirmed cases of this, with 11,500 suspected and 423 hospitalizations. Man, this is what happens when you let people who have hepatitis pick your lettuce. Dr. Fauci's diary shows that he doubted the effectiveness of the COVID-19 vaccines, yet he poisoned millions of people with them. Government officials persuaded the CDC director to back away from saying the shots did not prevent transmission, according to his diary. Dr. Anthony Fauci and other top government officials worked on multiple occasions to prevent messaging about COVID-19 vaccines that they felt was too negative. Fauci wrote an entry on August 13, 2022, that he, Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy, and others worked to persuade Dr. Rochelle Walensky, director of the Centers for Disease Control, not to say that COVID-19 vaccines were not effective at all in preventing infection and transmission. This man is a criminal. This man is a criminal. Crimes against humanity. Dr. Fauci, Dr. Fraud, Dr. Frankenstein. Dr. Fauci, the 85-year-old piece of human feces, needs to be put in prison. He needs to be charged. He needs to be convicted. And needs to spend the rest of his natural life suffering in prison. And his entire pension should be forfeited to the American people. This prick knew that they didn't work, yet they forced it into people. And they lied to people. They committed the biggest public health hoax in the history of humankind. Dr. Fauci, Dr. Blixen, the National Institutes for Health, the Centers for Disease Control, and the scumbags lied and then colluded, coerced, or cajoled Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter to silence those of us who use legitimate science to question the lies that they spread. We used real science, not your fake leftist science. The science is settled. This son of a beeswax needs to be tried for crimes against humanity. Turn Dr. Fauci over to the International Criminal Court. Turn him over to the ICC. Take him to The Hague. Put him in chains. Unbelievable. And all his minions. All his minions. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Fauci mentioned before the emergency authorization that booster would probably be needed because immunity against coronaviruses typically lasts only up to 1 year. He began writing his diary about concerns about vaccine effectiveness as early as January 9th, 2021. It looks like the vaccine might be compromised, he wrote. Wow. Wow. This piece of crap needs to be in prison. Needs to be in prison. It just goes on and on, all the crimes he's committed against human people. Louisiana Attorney General announced an investigation into Dr. Fauci. I think all 50 states' attorneys general need to investigate this scumbag. Amazon will give $600 million tariff refunds to customers. Well, how about World Rugby? I want my money back. Louisiana and Florida probing the former National Institute of Health, Allergy, and Infectious Diseases director. Officials in 3 states are investigating or plan to investigate Dr. Fraud following the release of his diary and refusal to answer questions during a Senate hearing. Fauci lied, Attorney General of Louisiana Liz Morrell wrote. Louisiana, Missouri deposed Dr. Fauci. At the time, he claimed to not recall many key details of his own actions, are now discovering contemporaneous records he kept. Morrell's investigation will look at whether Fauci committed any crimes which the state can prosecute and charge for. Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama is running for Alabama's governor. In a recent appearance on Newsmax, this state would be probing Fauci. Hopefully, in the next 6 months, I'll be governor of Alabama. And I promise you one thing, we will find out if there's a possibility we can bring him to Alabama and put him in front of a court and jury to see if we can put this guy in prison. Good, Tommy Tuberville, you have my support. Amazon will refund tariffs to certain customers as the company was sued in May in a class action lawsuit. They received $600 million in refunds for tariffs imposed by the Trump administration. And they've identified a limited set of circumstances we can trace with a specific import charges onto customers. Well, give me my money, Amazon. Wow. Wow. Trump slams the Chevron chief executive officer, demands immediate reduction in U.S. fuel prices. Claims Chevron's success stems from his policies calling for urgent reductions in U.S. fuel prices for consumers. U.S. President Donald Trump has again demanded that all oil companies lower gasoline or petrol prices for American consumers, slamming Chevron for not crediting his administration's work to assist the oil industry as oil prices continue to rise. Yep. The Democratic and Socialist in Michigan, El Said, joined the final 5-day push in the high-stakes Senate primary. Money wants you to believe that they own our democracy and it's no longer ours. The other side of the money is the rest of us. El Said, you're not one of us. You're not one of us. You've betrayed capitalism and America's democracy. So piss off and go back to where your parents came from. You're not wanted in Michigan. Well, I've already covered this, and at home in my studio I have a stuffed Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. And that's because it's the 100th anniversary of A.A. Milne's Winnie the Pooh. And there you have the news for today, folks. Winnie the Pooh, 100 years old this year. Yes, Phoenix, it did show us how many people are sheep, and I'm not one of them, correct? And they will not comply. They comply with everything. I will not comply. Governor Cuomo had thousands of elderly killed. What a sporting weekend. Rugby racism. And yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's true, Richard. What a weekend in rugby. People fighting. Warp Speed was under the Department of Defense. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Yeah, you can ask about the court proceedings, Kelly. What do you want to know about the court proceedings? What do you want me to talk about? You can ask any question you want now. We've done the news. Anyone wants to ask a question? Suffer for your refusal to take the shot. Well, fortunately, I didn't. I just retired from the military, so I wasn't forced to take it. And I didn't seek employment during that time where I would have had to do it. So, yeah. No, fortunately, I didn't. With the U.S. being oil self-sufficient now, why are U.S. oil companies putting... Well, Peter O'Connor, it's not as simple as the U.S. being oil self-sufficient. Oil is a fungible commodity. Prices are driven by world markets. So it doesn't matter if the U.S. is self-sufficient. The prices will still rise if they rise in the global marketplace. So that's the point. It doesn't matter if we have all of our own oil. Oil is priced in dollars and it's traded internationally. No. What I heard today was reasoned stuff from the I guess he's the head justice that was on the panel. He asked some very good questions. It was very reasoned, and it was not contentious with the plaintiffs. The plaintiffs' attorneys for the Fatherland Foundation and for AfriForum presented their cases, and both of them were received, and the questions were not contentious. And talked about possibilities. The judge was very reasoned. There's a 3-panel judge up there, 3 judges on the panel, and the guy who's Saldana or something like that's his name. He Saldana, I don't know, something like that. He very reasoned. What I heard. So yeah. Yep. Patience. You're welcome, ready for the news. What do you think the outcome proceedings be? I can't predict that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what the EFF and the government with Dean McPherson. Dean McPherson, is he going to appear in court, or his attorneys appear in court and claim it? Nil means something. It means something. Yeah, it means nothing, Dean. Yep. Let's see you again tomorrow, 4th in Durbanville. Meet and greet. Best place ever. Okay. All right, Marlies, we'll see you there. Forced to work with the ultimatum. If I don't do this, someone get fired. So I had the shots. Hey, Louise, how's it going? I will not comply. Love that, Uncle. Oh, well, that's a song, guys. That's a song. Let's see if I can get to play. Hang on a second. Probably get the July refugee stats. Yes, they come out, but it'll be, yeah. Okay, let me see. So, let's see if I can get this to play. Shouldn't get that was going to happen. Not enough data. Let me pause it. Hopefully the data will come back. I hate that. So let me pause it. Yeah, so is it loading? Let me try it again. Well, you can get it on YouTube. It's God Over Government. It'll be deleted from this video after it's over, so you better get it now. That's High Res and Jimmy Levy. I was there. Watch the video when they filmed that. That was the Stop the Mandates rally. I was there. I was there walking down the wrong side of the mall of the reflecting pool when they were over on the other side filming it. And I was at that rally, filming that rally. Yep, that was incredible. How's it going, Werner? Respond to being called up to defend America against attack. Well, they won't be called up. We have a voluntary military, so they can't. Oh, the audio quality is not doing the sounding justice. Well, sorry about that. Question of madness. Well, I know you're made fun of, and I was resolute in my position, and I paid a price for it, a serious price, set me back years. Monsif Saul. Monsif Saul is not in the military. And Gustav Perna, no. It wasn't under the Department of Defense. Nice try. There is nothing to be called up. The youth, it's a volunteer military. There'll be no call up. There's no draft. Ask serious questions. If by then September missed the 10,000 cap. I doubt that, Eugene. I seriously doubt it. I seriously doubt. I mean, no one cares about that cap except South Africans. No one cares. I mean, the U.S. government isn't focused on that. Yep. So, yep. Somebody wanted Pala Pala, so let's play Pala Pala for you. Too far away from things, okay? Pala Pala. Oh yeah. reggae nights.
Money stuffed in my sofa, a treasure untold. She's got a game right, stories unfold. Pala pala, ritzy joy, glimmer and gold. Stay overnight, don't you stray. Couch cushions hide a rainy day. Pala pala, where the secrets play. Under the cushions, the cash will stay. Pala pala, don't give it away. Rainy day, rainy day. Hey. Antelope roam where the moonlight beams, luxury whispers in velvet dreams. Zero laughs, but nothing's as it seems. Game of chance or a clever scheme, hidden fortune stitched in the seam. You'll never know till you're caught in the stream. Pala pala, where the secrets play. Under the cushions, the cash will stay. Pala pala, don't give it away. Rainy day, rainy day. Hey. Pala pala, where the secrets play. Under the cushions, the cash will stay. Pala pala, don't give it away. Rainy day, rainy day. Hey.
Oh, look at that. Everybody's leaving because I play music. Shame. Shame, shame, shame. Anyway, that was requested earlier, so I did play it. Okay. Goodness, I need to say goodnight. Ingrid, okay. Okay. Next song, fairly check on your rental car seats. No kidding, Bonnie. So proud of myself. I've checked my case now again. It's been 2 months, Debbie, since you checked it. Good night. Michelle, okay. And Pahas is off. You still don't have the magic wand? What magic wand? Again, the first guy you mentioned is not in the military, so I know what you're talking about. Anyway, well, we could play the puppy song. That'll put you all to sleep. Love the puppies. Love the puppies. Is Louise gone? Okay. Love the puppies. You guys love the puppies, don't you? Thank you for the news and the music, and love the music. I'm off to bed. You guys are a bunch of grandparents, man. Going to bed at 10 o'clock. Good Lord. I mean, I would get up at 5 o'clock every morning and go to bed till midnight if I was lucky. Yes, Judy, I have music. I'll have music tomorrow. Yep. Serving UK 60% for the country. Well, I have no idea. First off, only 18% of young adults even qualify to join the military, so it's a moot point. 82% aren't even fit. I don't drive the N2 at night or the N1. That's why I'm in Cape Town tonight and tomorrow night for meetings that took place here in Cape Town. And I will be in Somerset West Wednesday and Thursday, or Gordons Bay. We're going to have a meet and greet in Eimer. I need Garrett Gillich, who I haven't seen here tonight, to set that up. About why visa and government, they will welcome back, even if they're coming back from Mr. Trump's refugee program. No, at Varroa Media, let me see. I haven't seen that. Excuse me. Sounds terrible. No, I don't usually read Varroa Media. It's enough our cons. I don't usually read it, so I need a link. So, Kapstadt für klar. Gehalte in Vakanz. Okay. No, I don't see anything here. There's several meet greets in Gauteng, student. How's the war going in Iraq? There's no war in Iraq, Debbie. Oh. Anyway. Are you also having a meet and greet in Milnerton? Yes, Judy, but probably not this week unless I do a lunchtime. I might do the Woodbridge Island at lunchtime and then save the Blueberg for when I get back. Yeah. $270 million citizens. I don't think that many took it, Holden. I don't think that number is that correct. Sure, send me a link on WhatsApp, but I can't do anything with it, Elmer. I'll have to read it later on because it's on this phone, which is what I'm broadcasting. Would one on the weekend? Well, we could do it on the weekend. Yeah, I could save it to the weekend. Yeah, I could do Woodbridge Island on the weekend. Maybe that's better. Yeah, no vax here either, Coco. Maybe Milnerton on the week or Bloberg Strand on the weekend. Could do Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, how's that? Do those two. Maybe we do that. Okay, because I'm at the Stormers game on Friday. And then the Western Province game on Sunday. So, yep. Hey, Dylan. Yeah, well, Dylan, I know you'll come to one of those two. Probably the Milnerton one. No, I don't have any tea and honey. No. So the cough is new. Your family in Milnerton away on holiday. Well, I'm sorry. I can't be everywhere all the time. Where's the puppies? Where's the puppies? Come on, where's this thing at? Oh, I'm in the wrong one. I gotta go to the quirky. Love the puppies. Love the puppies. Puppy treats. Here we go. Everybody loves puppies.
Everybody loves puppies, don't they? Tiny little bundles that brighten every day. Black labs running circles in the summer sun. Collies in the meadow having so much fun. Poodles with their fluffy curls. Pyrenees watching over boys and girls. We all had a puppy once upon a time. A memory that still makes our hearts shine. You pet them, you hug them, you give them treats. Little paws following down every street. Through the laughter and the tears they stay, loving us a little more every day. They're cute and cuddly, friendly and true. Always there no matter what you're going through. A wagging tail can make the darkest skies turn blue. Love the puppies, love the dogs, love the joy they bring us all along. From the smallest bark to the loudest howl, they fill our hearts and they make us smile. Love the puppies, everyone, playing in the grass and chasing the sun. Through every season, come what may, a dog's love never fades away. Sir Winston loved his faithful friends, Rufus by his side until the very end. Audrey Hepburn walking down the avenue with Mr. Famous tagging I long to Alexander the Great had Peritas near, a loyal companion through triumph and fear. Queen Elizabeth's corgis ran through palace halls, proof that puppy love unites us all. Great leaders know what simple hearts can teach, a lesson of loyalty within our reach. No title, throne, or victory above can never replace the good dog's love. Love the puppies, love the dogs, love the joy they bring us all along. From the smallest bark to the loudest howl, they fill our hearts and they make us smile. Love the puppies, everyone, playing in the grass and chasing the sun. Through every season, come what may, the dog's love never fades away. The Wyatt Army loves them too. Every shape, every size, every shade and hue. From Holly the Dachshund, so little and bright, to CT the German Shepherd standing proud and upright. The Colonel's loved his puppies through the years, sharing happy moments and drying countless tears, because the bond between a dog and friend is a story that never truly ends. Some people spend the day spreading doubt and noise, but puppies remind us of life's simple joys. True hearts see clearly, they always do. Wagging tail speaks louder than rumors ever could. Love the puppies, love the dogs, love the friends who walk beside us all along. From Paw Patrol adventures to Lassie's faithful ways, they've been lighting up our life for generations of days. Love the puppies, everyone, running free beneath the golden sun. From puppy paws to silver muzzles gray, we'll love our dogs forever and a day. Everybody loves puppies, yes it's true, and every grown-up dog was once a puppy too. So raise a treat, share a smile, stay a while, and let those happy tails stretch another mile. Love the puppies,
Love the dogs.
love the dogs, love the friends who love us most of all.
Hold on, what you're talking about? I have a blood clot. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, that auto turret. I can't give you advice on that. That's something you have to decide for yourself. So an awful lot of usernames popping in here trying to get me to commit to say something so it can be used against me. Stop asking me questions like that and take your questions back to the Heartburn channel. You're asking me ridiculous questions that I'm not going to answer because I'm not in your shoes. Yeah. You see this happening, folks? That's the third username that's never been here before tonight, is ask silly questions, trying to get me on camera saying something. Yep. It's the third time. Third person tonight tried that. Third one tonight. Usernames we've never seen before. Never seen before. Coming here and asking ridiculous questions. Yep. Yep. Lots of retards coming in here trying to ask stupid questions and trying to get me on camera to say it. Yeah. No, they can catch me off guard. I'm wise to them. I've been wise to them for a long time. I gave them the ammunition they wanted before because it's just going to be used against them in court. So anyway, so love the puppies, guys. Love the puppies. Anyway. Sleepover bed is big. Anyway. All right. Well, that was the news for tonight. A little bit of chat, a little bit of music, including High Res and Jimmy Levy. And so I sent it along. You guys have a good evening. I had a couple videos tonight. Let's see if anybody watched them. Not many. The expropriation law went to court, only 3,000 views. That's disappointing. 4,000 views. I thought a lot more when I checked that out. And then the corruption one I did from this morning, that one's got 3,400. Those are both on the, they're okay, but not great. Oh, well. Once again, we're in a situation where the prepared stuff is not getting views. So I did my Iranian videos. If I was black and in a wheelchair, I'd have 500,000 views. But since I'm not black, not in a wheelchair, and not a fake journalist, like people who claim to be BBC journalists and claim that they were fearful in church in Iranian, since I didn't lie about Iranian, I'm not getting any views. Yeah, it's so obvious, the shadow banning. It's so obvious. Yeah, hit the like button, guys, if you don't mind. I won't get any rest. I've got another video to edit, the one I did about Senator John Cornyn and Tom Tillis and their betrayal of Americans who've been abused by our government in violation of the First Amendment of the Constitution because of their hatred of Donald Trump. So I won't be going to bed. Won't be going to bed. I got work to do. No need to apologize, Aldo Turret, but you've never seen your username and you come in asking a question that clearly looks like a question designed to elicit a response from me so that can be used by people who are nasty. And I'm not answering questions like that. Okay? All right, so no need to apologize. Just saying, not answering questions like that because it's not my place to answer that question. That's something for you. Anyway. Yeah, asking is better than suffering, Mike. That's correct. Okay? But people have been trying to set me up, and it doesn't work. See, these idiots who do this think they're playing with a child here. They think that they're having fun. You know, these are the same people who besmirched my military service, claimed I wasn't a soldier, claimed I'm not a colonel, called me a so-called colonel, claimed that I never served in combat. You know, these people who have no honor, and they steal things, they steal content, they're thieves, and they're nasty little people, So anyway, but they're going to get theirs. They're going to get theirs. And I hope they can afford attorneys. Not for me. I'm not doing it. I'm not involved. But anyway, I hope they can afford attorneys. Otherwise, they're going to regret. Well, they will regret anyway. All right, guys, have a good night. We'll catch you tomorrow sometime. Got to meet and greet tomorrow, Tuesday, the 4th of August, 2026 at 11 a.m. at the Kopstadt Brauhaus in Durbanville. Okay? Yes, Carl, honor is sacred, and I have honor. There's no honor amongst thieves, and those content thieves, there's no honor. Good night, everybody. Be well, and thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you next time right here on the program. God bless. Cheers.